Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel Easy Sewing with Tyke. On the channel today we'll be cutting and sewing this gorgeous Organdybubu dress with asymmetric neckline and an Asooke design. Now to all my returning subscribers and viewers, thank you for always coming back and engaging on my videos, for always liking, commenting, sharing. Thank you also so much. If this is your first time here, my name is Taiwo and you're welcome. It's so great to have you here. Be sure to watch till the end and don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up and share. You can leave your questions in the comment below. Also, please stop skipping ads on my video. Please kindly watch the ads as it pops up. Now let's get started. Starting off with the Asooke design on this dress. This is the Asooke that I will be using. I folded it into two, and here is how I measured the length. So I want the front length of this design to be 16 inches. I added 1 inch extra for folding, that's 17 inches. Then I want it to extend all the way to the back. I want that to be 6 inches, and I added 1 inch extra, that's 7 inches. All right, so I'm just dividing it that way because I need two of it to increase the wideness of this Asooke. Now I'm going to take to the sewing machine to join the two together. I'll be placing it on each other like that. Do not place it too much. Placing it by 0.5 or 0.25 inches fine. Then use a matching thread to stitch it. Now, if you are working with a pattern Asooke, you have to take note of the pattern when you are stitching it together, okay? Do not just stitch it anyhow. Place your pattern and see if you are fine with it, or look for a way to arrange it to make it better. Once you are fine with what you have, go ahead and stitch it together. I'm done stitching it together and this is what I have. Now it's time to start drafting out the neck design. So remember I said I want the length at the front to be 17 inches. I'm just going to go ahead and measure that from one end to the other end and roll it across. So the chalked line represents the shoulder. So the longer part is the front and the shorter part is the back. Where I attach the two Asooke together will build the center. I do not want to cut this neckline with my Asooke on fold. I want to open it up like this. So I measure 2.5 to the right and 2.5 to the left, meaning that the wideness of the neck that I'm working with is 5 inches in total. When on fold it is 2.5, but when it is open like this it is 5 inches. All right, now the neck depth that I'm working with, the first neck depth that I'm working with is 2.5. I would mark that and roll it across the 5 inches like this. The second neck depth that I'm working with is 6 inch. So choose the side that you want to be deeper and the side that you want to be 2.5. So I chose the side that way and I increased the length of the 2.5 to meet up with the 6 inches line that I marked. So now I'm going to connect the 6 inches mark to the 2.5 inch mark because this neckline is asymmetric. You can see the reason why I'm not cutting it out on fold. So this is the neck dimension that I'm working with today. Now for the back, just go ahead from that shoulder line. I measured out 2 inch and I curved it to meet up with the neck width. You can decide to choose another shape for your back neckline. I'm working with a U-shaped neckline and I think this is just perfect for the sewing project that I'm working with. Moving on to the other part of this design, from the side where I have that my deep neckline, I'm coming up by 2 inch and I'm just going to slant it to the other side. So this is just like alternating it. So for the wideness of the design, depends on how wide you want it to be. You can go ahead and trim it off, but this is an Asooke. I do not want to trim it off. Rather, I'll be folding it when it's time to attach it to the main dress. And also this neckline, I will not be cutting it out yet. I'll be cutting it out once I'm done sewing it to the fabric, because it's an Asooke and I do not want it to fray and the neckline will become bigger than what I want it to be. Now we'll proceed to cut out the main fabric. This is the main fabric organdy that we're working with, so I've gone ahead to fold it into 4. It's not easy to fold, which is why I did not show it on camera, but I folded it into 4 using the length that I'm working with. But I would advise that you increase the length. For example, if you're working with the length 60, you can cut it out to be like 63 or 64, because this organdy fabric can be funny sometimes, so that you won't discover a shortage of 1 or 2 inches by the time you're done making your dress. So take note of that. And the only thing that will be cutting out from this fabric is the neckline. Every other measurement will be done while sewing. And the wideness that I have here is the combination of the shoulder measurement divided by 2 and the sleeve length. So for example, if you want this bubu to end at the shoulder, at the elbow, and your elbow length is 13 inches and your shoulder is 16. Now 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 plus 13 is 21. So unfold that way, you're supposed to have 21 inch. Then you can now add like 2 inches for folding allowance. But mine in total there I have 25. Note that this has been folded into 4 for the front and the back. The shoulder area of mine would not be having a joining. It's not compulsory. You can cut yours in a way that it would have a joining, but as you can see mine, it does not have a joining. So I'm going to notch the center that way. And I'm going to take my Asooke design, also fold it into 4. You can see what I'm saying. That choke line will be the shoulder line, and I will notch it as well. Afterwards, I went ahead to open up the organdy so I can locate that center where I notched. I'll make sure that it matches up with where I notched on the Asooke fabric as well. Then I'll make sure that the shoulder line matches up too. Then I'll go ahead and pin it. You want to make sure that you pin it down so it doesn't move or shift while sewing. Make sure that you arrange it well and it's falling exactly at the center. So now I'm going to go ahead and add half an inch all around, and we'll proceed to the sewing machine to sew off the neckline before cutting. I'm done sewing the neckline. Now I'll go ahead and cut off the hem line of the front Asooke design, after which I'll go ahead and cut off the neckline like this. Then I'll head over to the weaving machine and weave it all around. And this is what I have. As you can see, I've weaved the neckline all around. I've weaved the hem at the front and I folded it using an hem gum, and I did the same thing for the back as well. After which I'll go ahead and notch it at strategic points only at the corners, because this is an Asooke and I did not want everything to fray out. So I'm only going to notch it 4 times. Then I will proceed to top stitch on the organdy fabric like so. Just bring over all the sewing allowance to the organdy side, then I'll top stitch on it neatly. After top stitching, I went ahead to flip the Asooke to the right side of the organdy, after which I went ahead and took it to the ironing table and gave it a good press, especially at the neckline. Then I proceed to add an hem gum all around the neckline so that it can come out neat. Then I attach hem gum on the rest of the Asooke too, so that when I'm ready to sew it down, it's not going to shift and move because of the texture of the organdy fabric that we're working with. And this is what I have. I'm back from the ironing table. The next thing I'll be doing now is to stitch down this Asooke on the organdy. So for the sides, determine how wide you want the side to be. Then I'll be folding it and just stitching it as close as possible to the edge like this all around. You do not want to miss any parts. All right, so here is what I have after stitching it down all around. Next thing I'll be doing now is to fold it at the shoulder that way and measure out the sleeve opening, how wide you want the sleeve opening to be. And you can see in this case I'm working with 12 inch. So starting from that 12 inch, I'll go ahead and sew it all the way to the bottom of the dress, to the hem line, using 1.5 inch. After which you want to go ahead and fold the sleeve opening, which is the 12 inch that we left earlier. You want to go ahead and fold it this way using the 1.5 inch allowance that was used to sew the side. So you can go ahead and weave this before folding, or you can go ahead and fold it directly if you know you can do it. But because the fabric is slippery, I'll be folding it a little bit all around like this before finally folding it. As you can see me do here, it's easier to fold. I do not have to worry about the fabric being slippery and all of that. So it's either you do this or you weave it before folding it to make the folding easier. After folding it all around, when you get to this point, that is where the 12 inches started from, you can just go ahead and sew it across like this to give that, to make sure that that side is more secured. So when you're done, you want to have your sleeve opening looking like this. After which I went ahead to keep folding the allowance inside that way. Now this is optional. I just do not like weaving any sheer fabric that I'm working with, be it an organza, organdy, or a two, except I'm going to use a matching color of thread. But if I'm using white or black, I do not like weaving it because I feel, it's not even because I feel, it is definitely going to show and be obvious. So I'd rather just fold it. As you can see here, I'm done. That's what I'm indicating with the arrow. The final thing I'll be doing on this dress is to fold it at the hem. Go ahead and we take your measurements. Remember that when we're cutting, I advise to add 1 or 2 inch. So if that is still in excess, you want to trim it off and fold your hem to the accurate gown length that you're working with. And voila, we are done. The Organdy Bubu dress is ready. Now, if you're interested in seeing how I made the inner or camisole that was worn with this Bubu dress, then you can let me know in the comment below. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't leave without subscribing if you haven't done that yet. Also, kindly like, comment, share, and watch the ads. Alright, you can connect with me on other social media platforms. It's Easy Sewing with Tyke on Instagram and TikTok. Till I see you in my next tutorial. Bye.